Welcome to Near Falls with D. Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D. Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. We're talking Near Falls with D. Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast. Today, so excited. This is the best time of year. My favorite project of the year, the 24-25 WPIAL Coaches Preview. So excited to bring this to you guys. I have a bunch of different coaches coming on from across the WPIAL. They're going to come on, talk about their schedule, expectations, up-and-comers, their leaders, their seniors, all that type of stuff. You guys know the drill. This is year 3 or 4 of me doing it. So pumped up to bring it to you guys. I really hope you enjoy it, and just hope you enjoy listening to these guys talk like I did. It was always a blast for me, and this year was no different. So without further ado, welcome in to the WPIAL Coaches Preview.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where D.R. and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny, where be at Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
All right, joining me next on the call, we have head coach of Norwin High School, Mr. Kyle Martin. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Great talking to you tonight, for sure. I'm sorry, I got to take this championship chain off real quick.
What is that about?
That's whenever I beat the guys in pretty much everything, whether it's like 2-man dodgeball, beat them, spike ball, beat them, live go, beat them. I just walk around with it. Let them know. But on the live go stuff now, I got to wait till they're really tired and they're like, oh, okay, I need a break. And then I jump in and I score 1 million points and I bounce out. And that's how I keep that title on the wrestling side of it. But that's sad.
Well, I guess in the day they call that the champion's advantage, right? You get to decide whenever you want to go, right?
Right. And I'm learning that every year, more of experience. I'm learning I got to take advantage of that a little bit more, because some of these guys are strong, they're fast, they're younger. So I got to pick and choose.
I can't wait to get into it. So, man, let's just talk about last year. You guys had a great year. I mean, you guys are continuing to build something, pretty special. You have a bunch of, Connellsville guys over with you. And it seems like, you're building, a similar type style over there with the numbers and, the amount of people you guys have. But, just talk about last year and kind of round it into the off-season program as you roll into this year.
So one of the great things about just our approach here is that we can take a little bit of pressure off of the regular season stuff and the postseason stuff, because we go all year. Our freestyle club and RTC starts first practice the Monday after high school states. And our last club RTC practice was November 14th. And we got guys that come from all over. We really love it. We're lucky that we have a staff that kind of bought into, it's not about us. Our egos were kind of pushed to the side. It's all about the kids. Our club this year in the off season, and I don't even like calling it off season anymore. It's just our training. We're training for different things. We had 115 or 120 active members of our club from all over the area. And, we're there to help them reach whatever goal they want. It's not like a Norwin against everybody thing or anything like that. We want to make wrestling the no doubt best in this area in the world, right? We want the WPIAL to be like Dagestan. That's what we want. And, we got the people here that are really bought into doing it. And man, it's fun. It's really fun. Last season was fun. How about Landon Sidden? Really cool. Freshman finishing number 1 in the country. And then, it's easy. I can't explain it with winning a high school state title, but Landon wins a high school state title. Monday, he went quietly right back to work because his next goal was making a world team, right? And then he goes to the world team trials. He goes up a weight, takes fourth at the world team trials. And then we had guys like, Elijah Brown came in the room. 2 years in a row, we've had a Fargo champ out of our club. Landon last summer, and then this past summer, Elijah Brown. Colton Klippa had a great first-year cadet season. He All-American to Greco, and he was real close to freestyle too. Real excited for that guy. It's just fun. Last season was fun. I think what we're getting used to now, and the Norwin program, hopefully, is that little bit of team success, right? They've always had great wrestlers here, for sure. But when we came in, our focus is, nobody's bigger than the team. You can have the number one kid in the country and Landon sitting in the room, but we also have first-year guys that are giving wrestling a try, and we want to make them love it. We want to make them have good experiences with it. And I never want to be someone's last wrestling coach. I want to push them on, right? And push them on. And yeah, the percentages play out. Not many people go and compete in college, right? I think it's like 1% go Division I in wrestling. So we're very lucky that we've been able to kind of win some of these athletes over into continuing to wrestle and not being their last wrestling coach they ever have. I was after you sent that question out, I had to go back through and I was like, man, we have 9 guys that are wrestling in college, which is pretty
break
cool.
them down, brother.
So I got a little story for all of them if you don't mind. And if I get chatty, you just tell me to stop because I'll do it because this is exciting stuff. So Anthony Barley, right? He was a junior my first year here at Norwin, and that dude ate a package of blueberries every single day. That was his thing. And he would walk in the practice room just eating these blueberries. And I was like, man, this guy, he's legit with his diet. And he's not. He just loved blueberries. But he's the St. Vincent, right? And Anthony Barley is one of those, like, man, didn't start in Norwin, but, man, he filled in all over the place, would wrestle up weights, I got to drink a couple bottles of water till I can bump up 2 weights. And he never hesitated. Like, love that kind of kid. And he was our first ever winner of the Nicholas D. Chex Memorial Strength and Honor.
Glue guy.
What's that?
Glue guy.
Yeah, glue guy. And, like, that's been like the standard bearer of that award, right? Nothing really it never shakes out where he's a clear starter. But man, he comes to work every day, hard, pushes everybody else, does all the right things you ask of him. And that's adversity now in sports right now, right? It's different. Like nobody's really happy if they're not getting all the reps or they're not starting every single match. That's like a character building thing and just like a true test of character to still be a great teammate, even though you're not the guy to wait. So he's at St. Vincent. We got, Connor Henning went to York College. Josh Page was at Muskingum. He's starting to figure out some other things with what he wants to do, but he was at Muskingum College. Ryan Weinson's back in Westmoreland County, right? He's at St. Vincent College. That's really exciting. And that's why, it's great with that program, right? And it gives all these guys opportunities. He's been around, right? He's been able to travel.
Man, that program has some real juice. I mean, it's brand new, kind of up and coming, and you got to love what Dom's doing out there. I mean, he's a great coach. Love it,
man. And it's a great opportunity for guys like Ryan, right? He found a home at home, which is great. So that's really exciting. Then we got, so John Altieri, first year here, love that kid. He was a senior, heart and soul of a team, pushed everybody, just comes up short in the state finals, goes to Clarion. Couple years there, never really breaks in the lineup. This year, wins his wrestle off. It's his first year starting up there. We're real excited for him. He looks massive at 160, just gigantic, right? Oh, I know, just huge. Then we had, Chase Kranitz. Love this freaking kid. Love him. He came, tough luck at Buffalo with Coach Stutzman leaving. Now he's a Pitt, which is great for all of us. We went up, watched his wrestle off, nail biter, tough loss for him. But how he approached it was, and it's not without saying he's a great kid. But after taking a loss like that, and then he came up in the stands and talked to us and talked to some of the wrestlers that were there, and his motivation was, well, I got to go and win the Clarion Open. I got to win my ability to get another wrestle off. And it just, the character of these guys is just, I can't say enough about them, right?
That's special stuff. I mean, that's program building. That's stuff that, you can write home about for sure.
Right. Then you got Kurt Phipps, right? Huge summer. takes second at U23 World Team Trials. He goes down to Pan American Championships, mops up there, wins a Pan Am title. He came in a lot this summer. He had an internship in Pittsburgh, and he came in, and that dude works. And he put in work, and it was great for guys like Landon and Klippa and Jack White and those guys to see him, and they got to train with him. And, seeing him go through that process and win a Pan Am medal it's just so cool to see, right? He's a good person, great kid. He's going to be an amazing coach wherever he goes. I'm hoping he finds a job around here and we can snag him up. We always got room for fifths. And I've told all these guys when they're graduating, they have one option, and that's coach at Norwin and then find a job around here. That's it. That's the only option.
Sounds really limited to the search there. But hey, if I could speak to one thing about Mr. Phipps, I mean, clearly a monster, and that's special stuff to come back. And I see it whenever I go up to Gladiators and things of that nature. These college guys, when they get their hands on some of these high school kids, the high school kids almost like crave it, like they're searching for something. You know what I mean? And it's really cool to see them try to unlock keys and unlock different things. But man, when the college guy wants to get going and put a hurting, that's fun.
Right, all for sure. And then we got Aiden Pham, who's at Fairmont. Yep. He's starting there. He pulled my leg a little bit early on in the spring. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm going down to 184. I'm gonna be jacked there." And then, I send a text message out to all of our college guys. Like, I try to go once every 2 weeks because I don't want to bug them. And, like, some of them get back to me right away, some of them don't. I get it. But he was pulling my leg, and all of a sudden he stopped answering those texts. And then next thing I saw, he won the wrestle off at heavyweight, and I was like, "Oh, 184." So he got big, but hey, won his wrestle off. He placed 8th at his first open tournament. So really cool there. Luke Passarelli is at Davidson, and he's the starter at 125 this year, right? He had knee surgery, ACL tear. He's back on the mat doing great things. He came this summer and worked out with us. Really happy and proud of that guy. And then Nate Campbell, right? Like, the story of last year is, hey, Landon Sitton had a great year, but dude, Nate Campbell, throw adversity at the guy. And where else would you pick that's better for him to be than the Naval Academy, right? Just
hammer.
Right. And now he won some matches at Millersville. He actually got matched out. He got to his 6th match and couldn't wrestle anymore. So he got to the 5th place match. He lost his first one, battle back. But again, great kid. They're all great human beings, and that's whatever happens to them wrestling wise in college, that's all secondary. They're all going to be amazing at whatever they want to do, and really proud that they were Norman Knights. But that's our college update.
That is a great college update, and it's impressive that you know them all, know all the story. I love that the 2-week update. I find that that's awesome, man. To see check up on the boys, see how they're doing, and as always, I love a lot of the coaches where they're all at. I mean, Coach G down at Fairmont State, I'm sure he is super happy to have your man at heavyweight. So
he said Fam's a character, and I go, "Oh, I know."
But G is a character, so they probably mix. You know what I mean? Peanut butter and jelly. I love it. Okay, let's get into this team, man. Of course you have, Landon Sitton is like your highlight. Of course, he's number 1 in the country at the end of last year. But give me, another guy that you might be leaning on as like a captain, or someone like a Nate Campbell, like that comes kind of out of the woodwork, and then save the freshman. That's going to be the next question.
Yeah, so I know I probably disappoint a lot of people when I do this, but I
know you do, but you got to give me a little bit, a little juice. If you give me 15 names, that's fine. I don't care.
Oh, so like expectation-wise, it's never going to come from me. We don't ever set expectations for anybody on the team. It's, hey, what do you want out of this? We're going to put a plan together to get you to where you want to be. And they're all over the place, right? We have some guys out there wrestling right now. This is their 5th time on the mat, and they're 2 circles down from Landon Sitton, right? But you got senior leadership this year with Nick Pushkar, Gage Mamie, Bill Pecco, and Gannon Conboy, right? And here, like, it's so tough, but it's like the double-edged sword, right? You want your program to be successful. You want your program to grow. And with that, as the competition level increases, man, it gets tough to break into the lineup at some weights. That's kind of what you want. So we're in a situation where we're pretty deep at some weights where, you got some solid guys that might not fill in there all the time, and they're going to have that like glue role, right? But I'm really excited with the youth that we have. We are young. Jack White gained so much muscle. He looks like a different human being. He's gigantic. Tanner Schaefer, Riley Schaefer, they put in so much work this offseason. I'm telling you what, I don't like blowing up, highlighting people, but I don't want to do it because we're on film, but if you took my shirt off, you would see the same physique as Colton Klippa. We were talking about it yesterday. He was climbing ropes yesterday, and that dude is just one solid muscle. And I'm real excited to see him make that transition from 8th grade to 9th grade with our schedule and everything like that. So I'm real excited for him.
What weight do you think he's going to settle in at?
Oh, man. And see, there we go. It's tough. He's within a bunch of guys. Would love to see him at 116 when that time comes. But he's kind of big. So we'll see there. I think he's going to be tough, no matter where he's at. I think he's going to be a competitor wherever he's at. He's in the last 2 months of workouts, he's matured so much with like the gritty part of it, right? And you don't really have a choice when your practice partners are like a Landon Sidden, a Nate Gulabon, a Brooks Blacksko. Like, you're wrestling with those guys. You have to get tough. You got to get gritty. And he's really like embraced it a little bit. So I'm real excited about them. Nate Gulabon's another young guy that, he's in that mix with all those guys. But man, he puts stuff together. And he's kind of just like a strong, like, I don't want to say slow, but he's very exact on what he does. And he's really hard to stop from doing what he wants to do.
I called his match last year. He actually wrestled one of the West A kids, Thomas Bencho, and man, dogfight, overtime match. Both kids are, I expect both guys to do, big things. And exactly like you said, great genes, obviously, and just, very, very tough, very strong in different positions. And, man,
right.
You got a couple boys coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're in that decision-making process. If we have some 9th graders that, probably on any other team that we've had, they would be up no matter what, because they'd be filling a weight starting. But now it's like, man, you guys can, maybe avoid that grind, work on maturing in some areas, work on technique in some areas, work on, feeling what success is if you didn't get a lot of it in 8th grade. So we got some good options there, which is exciting, right? That's exciting where you can have those types of options. But they're all kind of like scratching at it. They want to be varsity. They want to be up. They want to be the guys that, everybody counts on. So that's exciting. On our girls' side, blew up from 7 girls. We're at 14 or 15 right now. They're doing well. So JoJo Dahlman was a state place winner last year. She's nationally ranked. But Evelyn Berry, Casper Tatum, Carson Champion, Octavia Walker, these girls are going to be making some runs, I think, in March. They've been training all year. They got after it on that Monday after states, and they've been going after it too. So really excited for them too. Girls side too, it's exciting. Some days get stressful. Some days it's like, but everything gets fixed when you walk into a wrestling room. Everything does. Everything.
Last question I have before I move on to the next little segment. Yeah. What do you think Gillibon's going to wrestle?
Man, it wide range, because he's kind of in between some weights. So we're going to work on that over the next week or so, see where his head's at, where he feels most comfortable. But, I mean, you could see him literally anywhere from like 120 to maybe 138, seeing where he's growing and go that route. So in the mix there, in that little grouping.
Gotcha. Okay. Talk to me about your schedule, man. What's it look like this year? Did you keep it the same? Did you make a little adjustments? What's it look like?
We're always going to adjust. We're always going to mix it up. I always throw it out to the athletes whenever we get options of things to do and things to compete at. Going back to the Beast, and we're going to go through a ringer, but it's going to be so much fun. And, it's brutal, but brutal is really, really fun. So we're opening up with Canamac, which is going to be awesome, right? That's a big duel. It's going to be fun. And we're going to do the middle school's going to wrestle Canamac. The girls' teams are going to wrestle each other, and then varsity's going to wrestle. We're doing a triple header. We're doing toys for Tykes. They're going to have a limo out front to fill with toys. The boys wanted to change the start date of it, and to start it up with the match. So hopefully Canamac brings some toys. We're going to stack it up. Always something to help the community too. But we're going to open up with them. We're going to go to Springfield duels. We'll always try to go out east to see some teams. So Springfield Township out east. We'll wrestle Germantown Academy and some other prep schools out there. That'll be fun. We're in a tough section. The section's pretty tough. You got Penn Trafford, Franklin, Gateway, Plum. I mean, 3 of those teams are playoff teams, right? And only 2 make it out this year. So those duels are important. And we have, a development area. We're just going to call it a 3 weeks of growth, right? We're going to go to the Beast. Right from the Beast, we're going to train hard right into Powerade. We're going to train hard the day after Powerade. We're going to take a group to California. We're going to the docks in Canada.
3 weeks of a meat grinder, cause I don't know about growth. A meat grinder.
hey, it's going to be fun. Brutal is fun. Meat grinders are fun. Like I said, no expectations. We're going to go and we're going to fight with guys. I think it's going to be helpful for everybody at the end when we're looking at March, right? Going through that, it's going to build some character. It's going to give us eyes on really good competition where we can improve. It's just important, right? And by no means is everybody going to wrestle all 3 of those tournaments. We'll play it person by person, weight by weight. Like last year, Escape the Rock, we had some guys that we were just like, let's hit this one. And we're going to do that. We'll treat it as we do everything. But we're going to go out to Dock B the day after Powerade. And we're going to go out there. We're going to train. We're going to go train at Daniel Cormier's for a couple days. And then Robbie Smith's for a couple days, have our practices there. Kind of enjoy a Christmas break, New Year's break out there, kind of as a team, as a family. The kids that are going to go. And I thought it would be a real cool, when we got invited, I thought it'd be really cool to go give it a try. And I talked with Buchanan's coach, Coach Tirpel, and got in contact with those guys, and they've been phenomenal. Weird, funny story. I forget the year I won Powerade, but the year I won Powerade, the 3 weights in front of me were all champs from Clovis, and one of them was Tirpel. And we talked about that a little bit, just being like, man, small world. Now we're bringing teams together across the country. And then right when we get back from that, we're training into the county tournament. Then we're going to go through the county tournament, and then it's that 3-week focus of it's all duels, all focused on trying to get as far as we can as a team. But in that process, we're still sharpening our sword, getting everybody prepped to be the best they can absolutely be once Hershey rolls around and March.
Okay, I know I might as well get my scroll out. Give me your coaching staff.
Okay.
What do you got? 15 guys this year, buddy?
Hey, we got fresh blood. Hey, hang tight 1 second. 1 second. Hurry up. I need you for a second. I'm not prepared. No, he's okay. So I stole a guy. He brought him out of retirement. Kyle Burkholder.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Stud.
Yeah, go. So, hey, he's enjoying dad life, too.
I heard.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I believe I saw him at this Seton Hill golf outing. Yeah, man. For sure. I mean,
smokes me in golf.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Wrestling, I still score 1 million points on him, though.
I don't know that either.
Hey, that's a nice little cheat code there you got, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So anyway, outside of him, he's with us at the high school this year, which is really cool. Devin Austin had to move to Colorado with his wife. Unbelievable. We hammer him about it all the time. But, Coach Burkholder stepped in. I got Caton Smiley, Eric McGinnis, the legend Jared King, Mr. Positive, Mr. Smiley. Caton Smiley's on staff again. He does a phenomenal job. Like, listen, he does so much.
Big Caton Smiley fan. Love that dude. I love talking to him at the tournaments. He's a big Smiley fan.
Yep. He got a big promotion to work. He's actually in Kansas City right now, but he'll be back tomorrow night. So he's doing his big boy work too. And then Coach Dave Sidden, Landon's dad, has a great club with that Hutchie Hammer group. And, man, he's great to have in the room. Great motivator. High school staff's awesome. But then we also got guys that roll in. AJ Brentzel is a volunteer. He's in, rolling around, helping out. Bill Clausen, got him out of retirement a little bit. He's helping with the middle school staff. We got Heath Coles, stud, right? He bounces in both the middle school, high school room. We got Coach Doty at the middle school heading it up again. We lost Ty Kenny. He went to Fraser, which is awesome. We're excited for him. I'm going to give him some business when I see him. But hey, that's awesome for him. He's going to be great at Frazier. He's a great motivator. The kids love him. So I'm really pumped up and excited for him. Proud.
I had him on earlier. He was like the third or fourth man. He's excited, and
Yeah.
he seems like he has a good future. And he touted you guys a lot. You know, the Connellsville program, the Norwin program, just kind of trying to mimic that. So yeah, for sure, big T County fan.
Oh yeah. And then we got so Coach Doe. I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, I am sorry. I really apologize if I.
Great problem to have, buddy.
Well, we have some guys dedicated to the women's side. Giovanni Gooley, who was in the Army Cap out in Colorado Springs back in the day, he does great with the girls. Nick Seaman, who wrestled at Penn Tech College, he helped out last year. He's back with us again this year. Mike Dahlman, Rob Walker helping out with the women's side. And like I tell all these coaches when we start, we're a family. We're going to help each other out. So I'll be in middle school practices, Coach Doty with high school. We're all together on this to develop some good human beings. So
I love that. Okay. Next thing I got for you before I kind of wrap it up. Give me your goals and expectations, man. You guys were right there on the cusp last year.
yeah.
I think that you guys are going to continue. I mean, obviously, you guys are one of those programs that you see stepping stone. I
Right.
think this is the next stepping stone. Where do you think you stack up this year?
I think we'll be where we end up. I think we'll get whatever we earn. And I know you don't like those answers, but it's really truly that. It's not about me. It's not about our records. It's developing some human beings. These guys are on a journey. They have their own destinies, their own definitions of success. Some of them, it might not have anything to do with wrestling. We have some guys going to school for track, for pole vaulting, and man, we want them to just excel in everything. And in the grand scheme of things, and I don't know if this is me just getting a little more experience with stuff or older, like grand scheme of thing for me, wrestling is such a small part of who we are. Outside of me teaching, I teach history at the college level. Every waking second outside of those things is wrestling, right? But it's still just a small part of me, and it's a small part of these guys. So I never want to put like that do or die, hey, this is what we need. This is our expectation of everybody, right? We have non-negotiables. Everybody's going to work hard. You can control that. Everybody's going to give great effort. You can control that. Accountability, perseverance, all those things you can control. Wins, losses, you can control that sometimes, but sometimes you can't. So we'll be where we are at the end of the season. We're going to work really, really hard. We're going to try to peak at the right times. We want those medals in March. And that's that. Like the teams will, though, as we get through it, the athletes will come up with goals that they want to accomplish. Some are wrestling related, some are not. And I'm going to work my butt off, and the staff's going to work our butt off to help them accomplish those goals. We have a kid right now that's just driven. He's going to go to one of the academies, right? So right now, his plan is he's got to get his body mass index down. So we're working on dieting for him and getting him through the physical fitness test for that. And I mean, it's very not wrestling related, but it also kind of relates because it's going to take effort, attitude, hard work, and we're gonna put everything into it. I love all of my athletes, all my coaches. So wherever we end up at the end of the year is where we'll end up. But we're going to have fun doing it, and we're going to put everything behind it.
It's a very political answer. I like it, my friend. I will say for my money, I think you guys are going to be right there at the end of the year.
Well,
so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to do what we can to get there. So,
all right. Okay, next question I got. Social media is how can we follow to see if you'll be there at the end of the year?
All right, so we're working on a new X page. That'll be coming out hopefully in the next week or two. We have our Facebook page, Knights Honor. And then we have an Instagram page that the athletes kind of run. It's just Norwin Wrestling. I don't have any association with that, so I'm not real sure. But my X game is going to step up this year. I kind of put it off to the side a little bit last year, and I got to get better at it. I got to bring that back.
Well, I will say, buddy, I did see a great tweet from you, and I screenshot and I tried to figure out how to bring it up. I couldn't figure out how to do it on short notice, but it was something along the lines of no matter what problems you have, as soon as you walk in the wrestling room, they kind of all disappear. Incredible stuff. I feel like that echoes a lot of people. Even I feel like it's kind of like reaching, a different audience. Like Colin Dunlap sent a great tweet out earlier this week, and I saw you talked about that. And he's he gets it, and he's been around some guys like Justin Waters and some family, guys like around this area. So I just love that, that kind of stuff. But just talk about that tweet and what you thought when you sent it.
Here's the thing. Life is hard, right? We all have that. Life is really hard. It's never going to go your way. You're going to have expectations. You're going to have hopes. And it just doesn't always work out, right? And those types of things happen. And a lot of times you might end up in better places because of it, right? Like me getting to Norwin was by no means like an average, normal expectation. The day before, I didn't expect to be, called by Norwin to come and coach here. And it just opens doors, and, you kind of got to embrace it. But every single day where I go through it and you're like, man, it's not a great day. What do I got to do? The mentality to fix it. And I'm telling you, the easiest fix is getting in the wrestling room with your family. All these guys are family. Like another day today, just hassling, trying to get a million things done. And then you walk into the room and you're like, man, this is where I want to be right now. There's no other place in the world I'd rather be. And just everything is good in the universe. Everything is right. So that's my advice. Anytime you're stressed, anytime you're feeling down, anytime you feel like your head's going to, just find the closest wrestling room, right? And if you're going, come on in, hang out, watch us. Right?
True wrestling guy is Kyle Martin. I absolutely love that, my friend. Okay. Anything else you have for me or anyone you want to shout out before I leave you go?
So can I do a little bit of a shout out here?
Absolutely. That's what the question is.
Okay, I know. It's going to be long. My boy, Donnie Vincent, Buffalo's coach, got his first win last weekend. Love that guy. He came down in the offseason, ran a few RTC practices. Man, Coach Headley, who comes down a bunch, turning that PIP program into a force, right? Look at all these recruits they're picking up. They're doing a great job. That's really exciting. Shout out to Coach Tim McCall at Utah Valley, who bounced in this year. Coach Zacro at Clarion, love that kid. His obsession with the Bitcoin and all that stuff, I don't know if I'm sold on it, though. But I'll let him off the hook for that. Love him.
You gotta trust the country boy.
Right.
You never know, man.
Right. Hey, Coach Clemson at Maryland. We took our guys down there 2 weeks ago to watch the Bucknell, Maryland. He's turning Maryland around, Big Ten. They're doing well. Love that guy. He's always been great to us. Real quick, Daniel Cormier for letting us work out at his place when we get out to California. Robbie Smith, same thing.
Not a bad shout out there, DC. Slip it in there, no problem there, Kyle Martin.
Yeah, drop it, right? Coach Tirapel, again, for helping us out. So also, listen, it's, again, wrestling is such a small part of us, right? Just wanted to throw vibes, thoughts, prayers out to Coach Mears with the loss in his family. We all were thinking about him, thinking about the family. We got prayers, good vibes going your way. You're in our thoughts and prayers always. Like, you're part of the wrestling family, right? Life is so fragile. And as I get a little bit older and more experience with it, man, it just hits you a little bit different. And in the grand scheme, like, wrestling is such a minuscule thing of who we are. And that's why it's important to coach with love. And I've started to kind of attach that to how I approach it in the last 2 years, because, you got to love these guys. 2 years ago, we had a heavyweight, Josiah Pastores. And this summer, he just driving to work in the morning, wrecks and passes away. I mean, just on the cusp of life. And, it just puts some things in perspective, right? Also wanted to throw out a shout out to Wrestling Jesus, whoever you are. Saw some good news on X and the positive things, but man, know that the Knights are thinking about you. Know that we're praying for you, throwing good vibes your way. And everybody on our staff. I can't do this without our staff. I know it's huge, but man, and listen, you guys are amazing. Everything you guys do is great for the sport. Anyone who listens or watches, listen, get out and start watching college matches. Start getting in the stands. Get your butts in the seats. We're in the golden age of wrestling right now. This is the best the United States has ever been at wrestling. But, hey, Wisconsin's losing scholarships. Clarion lost some scholarships. It's happening everywhere right in front of us. And the only way we can kind of combat it is, man, make it relevant to those departments. Get your butts in those seats. We're going to Pitt, Lehigh this weekend. We're going to try to get to as many college matches as possible. So please get out there. Start supporting those colleges. And listening to you guys. getting us connected to more of the population. It's so phenomenal. Just with the new rules, just, keep in mind, you got a lazy Sunday, go watch a pit match, right? Get to St. Vincent, get to Seton Hill, get to these local matches, support the local athletes, because wrestling's tough. It is so tough, right? And the last one's to Dave Mirkatani. He is running a border brawl duel the Tuesday before NCAAs out in Philadelphia. All the benefits go to Extreme Couture GI Fund. That's Randy Couture's charity. And, there will be some local guys that will pop up. I don't know if I'm privileged to say anything about it, but know that event takes place. It's for a great cause, and it's going to connect wrestlers to good causes, and I'm all for it. Last shout out to my mom and dad. Without them, I'm not here. They're my best friends, the best on the planet. My girlfriend, Brittany, who keeps reminding me constantly that wrestling is small. I'm just a wrestler this much. I'm much more than a wrestling coach, and we're much more than wrestling. And then my mentors, Mike Clayton, Eric Everard, and Marty Hawk, who I've had a running text thread for the last 3 years with on how to be better coaches for our athletes. But you guys kill it. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, brother. And, I appreciate you. Love everything you put into that shout out. And, everything was true there, and there's nothing more I can say. So with that being said, I will see you probably, I believe, Hampton's the first of the year. So I'll see you around there.
Sounds good, brother. Love you. Have a good one. Take it easy.
My man. Much love.